Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Jerry What the What Dymond Podcast number 70. What the what? 70 episodes of Jerry What the What Dymond? Sad, sad, sad. Tonight, generally I interview other comedians from time to time here at the Lark Tavern about what they're doing and whatnot. But tonight we're going to do things a little bit different tonight. Tonight, folks, I'm going to be interviewed tonight. What the what? Yes. By my lovely woman, my AKA Team Dymond, the one and only Miss Amanda Dejulio, soon to be Amanda Dymond.
So Jerry,
first I want to say hello to everybody.
Hi everyone.
How are we doing today?
How's everyone?
Well,
all right, so we're gonna ask Jerry a couple of questions about comedy and what's gotten him into comedy. The first thing, Jerry, how did it start knowing that you wanted to do comedy? What made you know that it was something you wanted to desire to kind of be more like your hobby and your dream?
Well, for the longest time, I grew up watching a lot of comedy shows. I watched like Sanford and Son, All in the Family, The Honeymooners. We grew up watching comedy. Comedy was like Saturday Night Live. It was our thing there, and I was always been the funny one in the family. I went with the class clown.
Right.
My grandfather, his name was also Jerry. He's always telling me jokes all the time. He was a funny. He always make, he would tell jokes all the time, make me laugh all the time. I laugh at anything. Anybody tell me a joke, I laugh. I had a great sense of humor about things. And every time I watch comedy, I think someday maybe I want to do something like this. I think maybe I can do this. I was like. But
so did you ever write down his when he would say jokes? Did you ever write them down, or
no,
did you just
I never wrote
remember them, or did you?
I just kept it in my mind. I always running through my mind the episode that they ran, what it was about. I never wrote anything down because I hated to write. But it was just something that I either was going to do it or didn't want to do. I didn't at the time didn't think I was going to be a comedian because I grew up in a poor family and we worked all the time. We worked on a dairy farm. We weren't milking cows. We were cutting wood and making hay. So I really didn't have any time to do anything. I just watched at nighttime when it got dark out. We all sat on the family watch, All in the Family with Archie Bunker, or we watched The Honeymooners or Sanford and Son. I mean, it was just the comedy shows growing up watching them on Saturday Night Live because we didn't go to school on weekends, so there was late to watch Saturday Night Live with Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Martin Short, Steve Martin. I mean, John Candy, the late great John Candy, some of the greatest of all time, no longer with us. So I always watched it. I watched the Late Show with David Letterman. Johnny Carson was my big thing. I would watch Johnny Carson faithfully every single night.
Well, that kind of goes into my other question. So, who inspired you to proceed into going into comedy?
There was many. Like I said, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, he would have guests whenever he had someone on like Milton Berle, Bob Hope, Jonathan Winters, Don Rickles, any of them kind of comedians that were on, I would stay up to watch them. Anybody else that wasn't really into it, was a famous actor or actress, I wouldn't really watch it. I would just listen to his monologue and I'm gonna go to bed. There was someone really funny, like a comedian, like Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams. I would stay up to watch Robin Williams.
Right.
Or I would watch John Candy or whoever the comedian they would have on that night. I would skip to watch it.
So do you can you relate to any of them? Do you relate I know seeing you doing stand up and stuff that you're more like a storyteller. So
yes.
Do you relate to any of those comics?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. They all grew up poor, and they all had a struggle to get where they were. They were. When I was a kid growing up, I always thought that to be a comedian, you had to be in the business.
Right.
I thought that's the way it was. That's the way it worked. You had to be in the business. Today we got.
You've seen everything on TV,
right?
So
right. And you didn't have one behind the scenes, because
of how they got to being on TV.
Technology is a wonderful thing because back then technology wasn't the word it is today. So. Right. In my point of view, I just think, all right, you had to be in the business to be a comedian,
or know somebody to get you
right,
in the door.
Right. But I didn't realize that they weren't their thing. They were either worked in a hardware selling shoes, or they were sewing sweaters or whatever. But they got into it. They were somewhere in the military serving their country,
right.
And they got ideas as they were in the military.
So not realizing that there was more open mics out there, but that a lot of those comedians that were on TV started at open mics and not knowing that though.
Well, the thing is, there was no open mics here in Albany, New York. It was all
At the time, yes.
Right. So all the comedy scene was down in New York City. New York City was the biggest thing down there because that's where all the comedy was. They had the Comedy Cellar, the Comedy Store. Between New York City and LA, that's where your comedy was. Up here was nothing. I didn't discover comedy here until the early 80s when I saw the Comedy Works. I went to the Comedy Works in Del Mar, which is on 9W back in the day. There was a hotel. I went to see a comedy show, and Louis Anderson was doing a show there, and I was like so wow into it. I was like, oh my God, you know. But at the time, I was still young. I was still trying to figure myself out. I wasn't, you know, I loved watching it, but I didn't want to be in it. I was always stage fright. I wasn't the kind of person that can go up on stage like I can do now, tell jokes. I couldn't. As a kid, I was a stutterer. My vocabulary wasn't that great, and I didn't think I was a farmer. I always thought that I was going to be a farmer first in my life. I didn't realize that, I was going to be a comedian, because you don't know what your future's going to be like. And, the way technology is now compared to back then is totally different. If I had known that comedy come in all sorts of form, I would did comedy back in my early teens and in school.
Right.
But I was always a class clown. I was like goofed around in school until
So where do you come up with your ideas? Do you kind of just get on stage and free it sometimes?
Sometimes, but not always.
Where do you come up with your ideas?
It's my everyday life. No matter where I'm at, I get ideas. I get people coming in the store where I work, and I get ideas. It's my everyday life that I get my stuff from.
So, in your opinion, what would be one of your best bits or one of your best of your one headliners that you got the most laugh at on stage, that in your opinion?
We have that on here? Oh God, let's see.
So what would be one of your best one-liner?
Well, I do a lot with the Buffalo Bills in the Mets uniform.
Okay.
Well, down in New York City, when I seen the homeless people down there, and I gave a homeless person $5, and he saw what I was wearing and gave me my money back, plus all the money he had in his bucket. And I did that a few more times, had an idea, and we went around a 2-mile radius doing the same thing. We gave a homeless person $5, they saw what I was wearing, they gave me my money back, plus all the money he had in their bucket. And I walked out in an hour's time with $200.10, and I thought to myself, who would give a homeless person 10 cents? It's like that's one of my funniest. So another one is the situation where I got pulled over I-90. I was doing 80 miles an hour, and a state trooper came out of nowhere at a meeting and was following me, and all of a sudden he turns lights on, and when you see a cop, you pull over, but not me. I freaked out, stepped on the gas. I was doing 80, 85, 90 miles an hour, and he followed me for like 2 miles, and I finally pulled over. And he gets out of the car yelling and screaming at me and saying, what's wrong with you here? Why were you speeding when you see me like that? Why didn't you slow down? And I go, oh, I see you wearing a Mets uniform and the Buffalo Bills there. So was that the reason why? Because you're wearing the 2 worst teams in history? And I said, well, sort of. But I said, that wasn't one of them. He goes, well, I see in the back of your car a sticker that says, I support live comedy. What's that about? What are you, a comedian or something? I said, well, it's something. And I said that, he goes, well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's Friday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This is my weekend off. I don't want to be doing paperwork because of you. So here's the deal. You either tell me a joke and if I laugh about your joke, I'll let you go. If not, then I'll write you a bunch of tickets. I said, oh, great, this is going to be funny. So I said, well, officer, first of all, I'm really sorry that I was speeding. But the reason why I was speeding a couple of years ago, my wife left me for a state trooper. And I thought you were bringing her back. And he loved that joke, and he let me go.
So on that, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
4.5 years.
Awesome. So with being that you've done it for 4.5 years, where do you see yourself, say, in 5 years?
Oh, I don't know. Married?
Okay, but with comedy, where do you see that? I know that's kind of a joke in 5 years, but
I don't know. The thing is that I've been doing a lot more. This year has been I think it's been one of my greatest years out of the 4 years doing comedy, because I've been doing a lot more with it. I've had some help. Ed Smythe, who's a comedian as well. He does a little thing with a tennis ball called Wally with molecules and all that. And he's very funny with that. He's helped me out and got me some gigs. Carl Carey's helped me out along the way. She runs the Low Beat every second and fourth Tuesday of each month. Plus she does storytelling the third Friday of each month at Hudson River Coffee Shop. I've had some other comedians give me some help, give me some time. Michael Lash, who ran the Java Coffee Shop, he let me on one night. Michael Gregg, he's also a comedian. He used to have a show called Over Terrace, which was a short-lived thing. and I would host a show a couple of times. I did some hosting too as well. So I've been doing a lot of hosting as well, which people think is really good. I like that, and I feel comfortable in that. Because again, I watched a lot of the late show like David Letterman. He was another hero of mine besides Johnny Carson.
So do you see yourself, say, later on down the road, within them 5 years, of having your own show of hosting?
Well, I do have my own podcast. I do a podcast where I host other comedians.
But like having your own as like your own open mic.
I don't know. That's something I'm thinking about. I mean, that's
Something
at one
you
point.
might like to see in 5 years.
Yeah, I might.
proceed?
Well, here's the thing. I want to see myself doing comedy, being on TV, being on a late show with Jimmy Fallon, like to be on maybe one of his shows, do a 5-minute bit just to get out there.
To get your name out there.
Right. Well, a late show like Jimmy Fallon, who's also from this area, from Saugerty. So he went to Collins State Roads, and he's a comedian. He's been in a couple of movies. He's done some skits on Saturday Night Live on his own talk show now, which used to be Johnny Carson show. But I don't know. It's just like at one point I wanted to be down in the city, running it all. I wanted to be I just want to go out and tell jokes. I want to go be doing theaters. I want to go to theaters. I want to go to clubs like the Comedy Works, the Funny Bones. I want to be able to go to other places to form comedy and have it like take my own shows. If you look on the Comedy Central, some of these comedians get their own shows, their own like Kevin Hart, where he has his own segments. Stuff like that. That's what I'd like to do. I've been doing it for 4 years. I love doing what I'm doing, and I come a long ways doing comedy.
So out of everywhere that you could ever pick, where would be the one place that you would love to be the last place that you did comedy on stage? Like anywhere that you could pick, if it was in the theaters in New York City, is there somewhere that you've ever looked that you like dreamed of being on a stage?
The Tonight Show. With Jimmy Fallon.
That would be the number one out of
that would be the number one out of, because here's the thing, a lot of the comedians that you see today got their break on the Tonight Show.
Okay.
Doing whatever they were doing, acting, comedians, or they were doing actual shows that got out there and they made a name for themselves.
So you think maybe within them 5 years that could be your big break of getting on there?
I could, maybe hopefully before 5 years, I don't know.
So what do you think that you could do or let the comedians and everything do to precede that? Like what would be something that you think that you could work on?
You work on your material, you work on your jokes. You have to write every day to get yourself better because...
On that, so how long do you usually write a day?
A couple hours. I write like 2 or 3 hours a day if I can do it.
So basically it's like your second job?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Because I always wanted to become a comedian and I always wanted to do it. And at the time when I wanted to do it, I couldn't do it because I was married. And at the time my wife said that if you do comedy, I'm taking the kids and I'm going to leave you. Well, if I know what I know now, I said, goodbye, have a nice show. I'll send you child support. But, I got into comedy late in my life, which I have a little regrets about doing. I wish I'd gotten to it earlier in my 20s, because I probably could have been a lot further than I am now. I don't know. These are things that come plays in my head sometimes. Like,
So
here I'm approaching 50.
Kind of thing.
What's that?
So it's basically like, you're not sure if you'd still be in the same boat or do you think,
well,
it's kind of hard to say.
It's hard to say right now because, right now
The comedy scene is
really blowing up. I do a radio show now every second Sunday of each month on Hudson with my good friend comedian Jason Smith.
Shout out to that.
Jason Smith with Portable is down in Hudson every second Sunday of each month from 11 to 12. Jason Smith with Portables. And I'm his co-host, Jerry What Dymond, have a radio show on 90.7 FM in WGXC. We have it every second Sunday of each month. So it's like, I'm doing radio, so I like to see myself maybe doing more radio. I don't know, like a talk show,
So how can our viewers that are watching us look that up if they can't get the radio station?
You go online, stream it through online, WGXC. Radio, it's on Hudson, 90.7. You can streamline it on your computer, or I have been doing this thing called Facebook Time on my Facebook page, where I have it recorded, where you can see me actually here, not only hear me but see me, because the people in the Albany area and Schenectady, Troy area can't really get the reception like you can down in Columbia and Greene County. That's where it's a low wattage radio station located down in Hudson.
So what would they go on to on Facebook? What would be the
Well,
name that they would
just
look
go
up?
on Facebook Live. It's Facebook. You see Jerry Dymond Facebook Live.
So Jerry Dymond is the name that they would look up to go onto Facebook to follow.
Or you just go on, or you just go streamline it on WGXC on your computer, and you can hear us on that situation too. Because like I said, technology has come a long way, and the computers is a wonderful thing as long as it works. When it works against you, like it does with me a lot of times, it's nothing. Nothing.
So, do you have any other shows coming up? Or
As a matter of
that you
fact,
have?
yes, I'm going to be this Saturday. Ed Smythe and I is going to be at the Eden's Cafe. We're going to do a little skit together. It'll be on Eden's Cafe site, so look it up, Eden's Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, Ed Smythe will be playing Jimmy Junk. I'll be playing Jerry Junk. So we're going to
And
have
so
a
what time is that?
7:45 to 8 a.m. He does like 15 minutes, 20 minutes of a promo, maybe a little longer. Sometimes on Saturday you do a little longer with this stuff, but basically 7:45 to 8 o'clock.
And were you saying that you also had a show that
Yes,
night?
Saturday night at the Hudson River Coffee Shop. Ed Smythe and I'm hosting the show at the Hudson River Coffee Shop located at 227 Quail Street in Albany. Show starts at 8 o'clock, so come on out and check out the Support Live Comedy. You can see me here at the Lark Tavern tonight. I'm going to be at the Boys. I think the Boys is this Wednesday. It's right across the street from the Lark Tavern. And Thursday night, I'm at the Hudson River Coffee Shop and performing there too as well.
So any other upcoming shows or any shout-outs that you would like to do?
Oh, give a shout out to Ed Smythe out there for helping along with me, helping me do my comedy, and Carl Carey. They've also been helping me, and Blaze After Dark. They help me out a lot of ways.
Okay.
So these are comedians that help me out and get me going. And Chris O'Leary was another one. He's another great friend of mine, a comedian. He lives in Saratoga. He helped me out with some things too as well. Brian Anderson. I mean, some of these comedians that I've talked about, they have helped me out along the way and helped me out with how to figure myself out as a comedian where I stand. Like they say, like I was told that we should do like Ed Smythe and Carla Carey and I should do a skit together, like a Saturday Night Live skit together.
That sounds awesome.
And as a matter of fact, Carla Carey did a skit not too long ago. She played a Catwoman, and she was really funny with that. And of course, Ed Smythe does this thing with Jimmy Junk, and he's really funny with that.
So do you think that you guys might be putting on something soon, or something that you can
Well, yes,
work
but
on?
we're going to be doing a show in November. Carla Carey, myself, and I, and Ed Smythe, we're doing a show in November. I'll tell you about that more later on.
Okay.
He just gave me the stuff today. I had to
So
send a
will you
picture
be
in.
posting that on your Facebook page
Yes,
also for people to follow?
absolutely. You can follow me on Jerry Dymond, Dymond, because rich people don't dress like this.
And also, don't you? You also have a comedy page.
Yeah, the comedy page, Jerry Dymond comedy page. Check it out. Look, I got stuff on here. There's some jokes on there. Well, I got updated a little bit. I'm working on getting a Twitter. I was told I should get a Twitter.
Okay.
I got to work on getting a Twitter because everybody follows your Twitter account. So
Right.
I think I started it, but I don't remember it.
what happens when you get
old,
your
when you get to become 50 years of age, you just start losing everything. You lose, your weight, your eyesight, your hair, and your memory. It all goes, Your hearing,
All right, Jared. I think that's pretty much all the questions I had for you for tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Amanda. I really appreciate you doing this interview. This is
Awesome.
This is different for a change. Someone interviewing me, I've been interviewed before when I did a podcast with Carla Carey and Blade, but this is totally different. It's my own podcast. Like, okay, I'm going to be interviewed by my own girl over here. She's also my manager as well. So. When you see a lot of my stuff that's been created, this is the woman here behind the scenes that's created this stuff. So, and I want to thank you very much for doing what you do your part. I want to thank you for coming back as Team Dymond again.
Definitely. Stronger than ever.
She was gone for a year because she needed a break from me.
I hit every branch on the way down.
Every branch on the way down. So, So when people ask, where's Amanda? Oh, she needed it off me. Anybody know me over a year, it took a couple of years, they need some time off.
Vacation.
She was on vacation from me.
But I'm back.
But she's back now, so it's stronger than ever, and she's been helping me, and we're doing more stuff to come up, more stuff to come out and be creative. So you'll be seeing it pretty soon. So.
And also, Jared, I think what would be a good idea too, though, is how we do our broadcasts and how you do different people and stuff is on the comedy page, maybe like have where people can put questions and different things of not just towards you, but also towards maybe your guests that are on of, you know, like, yeah, I came up with some questions, but maybe they want to hear more of what got them into the scene, or maybe how to go about proceeding other people's comics, of making them go further with the comedy scene, as you know, as not just your other hosts that you have on with you that you broadcast, but maybe help you also guide to push you forward to proceed your dreams within those 5 years that you plan on to hopefully go further with comedy with yourself.
Well, what I do is